What's going on, y'all? Another week, another geek. We are back at it again with another episode of the Why I'm Geek show with your homies G and ChrisyLite. Today, we're gonna be talking about Ahsoka. But before we do, Chris, how you feeling today, Brody?
Feeling real good, man. Feeling real good. We got some baseball playoffs just kicking off now. Uh, uh Hopefully the O's actually do something. My
Braves
team's been
taking it.
trash for many years, so
Braves
but I'm
taking it.
feeling real good.
That's all I'm
I'm
gonna say.
really I'm maybe a World Series, maybe a World Series matchup.
Okay. Um, but yeah, so today we're gonna be talking about Ahsoka. But before we do, man, let's get this stamping all out the way. And today's stamping all is our party gonna make it back, bro? Because time is a ticking. So, Chris, what do you think, bro? Is everybody gonna make it back, or gonna have some unforeseen casualties?
Yeah, I'm feeling the Disney magic on this one. I feel like everyone's gonna make it back. I really don't know how we're gonna wrap it up, but for some reason, I'm feeling no big stakes are gonna happen to the point where we're gonna lose a party member or any of our core characters that we met. We're gonna bring them all back to whatever galaxy we started from, and at the most, maybe Thrawn escapes also, so we have some more stuff going, down in the future. But anyone getting murdered or stabbed by a lightsaber or another sad ending, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So I'm gonna stamp that the whole party making it back. But how you feeling? Stamping all, is the whole party gonna survive?
Sabine gonna be out of there, bro. She
Oh,
ain't gonna make it. She ain't gonna make it, bro.
Sabine!
Sabine gonna make it. I don't see how. Like, and I feel like that's why she's played such a big part in this series so
That's
far.
true.
Of like, yo, like when she gets back, what is she gonna do, bro? Like all the purpose-driven stuff that she could have attempted to do, she rejected. You know, and I just feel like there's no way after this she just goes on like, now I'm gonna come to become a Jedi. Like I'm about to train to become a Jedi. Me and Ezra are gonna go off into the distance and be happy for the rest of our life. Nah, like she has some comeuppance that she needs to take care of, because she the reason why we in this mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, it would have been nice. It would have been nice, bro, to always, like, save Ezra and things like that. But I feel like an ultimate sacrifice is coming. Not on some Kanan use the force type thing. I just think she gonna finally bite the bullet and be like, yo, like, that's it for me. Like that's my prediction. That's my
Okay, I
prediction.
like it. I like it. So some type of sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they everyone gets back with her sacrifice. That sounds interesting. That sounds better. But
Yeah,
I don't know. That Disney magic is strong right now. I'm feeling it.
it's true. It's true. Ezra said it too at the end of the episode. He said he's got a good feeling now. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'd be surprised if like they do that, just because that's just like, it's not a happy ending, and we know Star Wars loves a good happy ending, but there has to be some level like sacrifice at some point, and maybe that's just going to end up
Hope
being one of the
so.
bad guys. Like, who knows? Um,
Mm.
but let's get into it a little bit, bro. We start this episode off in court. Hera is getting done dirty, bro, and I'm starting to see like how these little political actions and political like references or whatever um really start to shape like the Star Wars universe that we're going to end up seeing, because really this is just the like setup for the future. Like, really feel like after this series, like we're going to get something where it's like, okay, yeah, like we've had a good amount of time to develop these new characters and these new stories, and now like boom, here is the political factor that's like going to be the basis of the next war, essentially, right? Because we still have the whole Skywalker saga to pull from, but this is in between time where I feel like things are starting to show their true colors. And by things I mean Senator Sonono. Ciano.
So
Sonono?
no.
Ciano. I don't know. All I know is that man kept saying no. Like he was not rocking with anything that Hera was saying. And I just was like, bro, like get off her body, bro. It's like she's just trying to do the right thing. Like obviously we know, but it just seemed like he had a little bit too much like salt for me. You know, what did you think of that scene, bro?
Well, the dude was just completely blinded. Nothing really mattered. I was just like, bro, this guy, he was the same ever since that little hologram meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't change one bit. Never really felt like a on the rebel side. I don't know if they're considered rebels anymore, but the Republic side, it was just weird.
But do you think it was like hints of like an imperial vibe, or you think he just was not rocking when he's just like power hungry?
I kind of just think he's just power hungry. Just because it's just too out in the open. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god, we discovered all this stuff to find Thrawn, and this dude is just covering up like the whole time. Like, oh
Mm-hmm.
no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm like, I don't know. I don't really buy that he's like truly bad. I just kind of feel like this is like the negligence that allows for like the First Order to like regain power somehow. Like
Yeah.
they do have to explain somehow how did the First Order even
Just
come back.
established. Yeah.
Yeah, because it just seems so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But with politicians like that, you could kind of see it.
Yeah. But even like Carson brought up like the whole thing on Mandalore, like, and he was just like, no, no, like, Moff Gideon was a rogue imperial whatever,
Yeah.
and he just was doing his own thing. But it's like, bro, like it's right there in front of you. You had to get a legend to pull up in court, a legend to pull up in court to save the day. That being C-3PO, bro, and that
Can
was
you imagine how slow like his timing to get there on time?
man, like he was probably going there for at least an hour, bro.
An
How,
hour,
how
yeah.
he'd be moving, and there was like no escort. I mean, Carson was kind of the
Yeah, technically.
um, just seeing that, and obviously we can't see Leia, just because we've only seen her as a baby and old Leia,
Yep.
but they're not gonna do like the uh the whole
CGI and
CGI
everything.
thing for just this moment. So I really like the fact that they brought C-3PO in there because I just was not expecting that. I was like, oh, they pulling up, and then even then, Zeno was like, no, from a mere droid, my man Chop was ready to box. Chop was ready to box. He's like, what you say?
Droid hate.
What you say? Like, come on now. Like, I was tuned in. I was locked in, bro. But like little moments like that is why I love Star Wars, because there's so many things that like play into this whole universe that you kind of like not necessarily forget about, but it's like there's always something bigger happening, whether it
Yeah.
is the state of the Republic, or clones, droids, Jedi, Sith, whatever. It's always something to pull from, and it's just like, all right, we'll be tackling.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like a big thing to do. Like just having
Mm-hmm.
C3PO just pull up like that. It was just a really cool fan favorite thing to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, I really like that joint. And then we get another appearance from my man's Anakin the hologram, and I just love this. I love this show, bro, because they ain't have to do that. Like, granted, Ahsoka wasn't really doing nothing too crazy. Obviously, she's just practicing her forms, and it's not necessarily the Form 4 that I still want to see. Just because, like, I guess because she's like, obviously she's bigger now. She's not a kid anymore. Where like we're gonna see all the flips and doohickeys and all that stuff that she does when she does that, like similar to Clone Wars Ahsoka. But it's just like that solid pregame advice that you need to play back before you get ready to get in the mix. I really like that moment. But I have a question for you, Chris. So I know I could not have been the only one that seen all them lightsabers on that ship, right? Why didn't Ahsoka bring the lightsaber with her for Ezra?
I must have missed it.
So it was when she
Oh
finished
man.
training or whatever,
Yeah.
like there was a wall and there was like a whole bunch of lightsabers because the ship is the same ship that
But were they lightsabers or like practice
they
sabers or
might have been
something?
practiced. I don't know.
Because the kyber crystal is like super rare anyway.
Yeah.
Like
hmm But it's still like it was a hilt at least. You saw the
yeah,
hilts,
yeah.
right? Um, so maybe that wasn't a thing. But I was just like, bro, like you got all this stuff because to me it reminded me of like why she's on that ship with that droid in the first place. I forgot the droid's name. Um, because that droid was a teacher, right? And I don't know what it was for. It might have been in Rebels or Clone Wars, but no, it might have even been might have been Bad Batch. Well, we've seen that shit before where all the younglings went to go get their kyber crystals and it was on the ice planet and Yoda was there and stuff like that and had to get back before the witch calls. I think that's the same ship.
Okay.
So I don't know how we fact check that, but it just like it clicked for me in that moment, like why she would choose that ship, in general, and I don't know.
I mean, if so, then maybe she does have a secret lightsaber in her back pocket that she's about to flip it to Ezra.
I mean,
Hey.
really, Ezra don't even want the lightsaber though. That's what we need to talk about, bro. Why is Ezra not like what is up with him? Like what's his issue right now, bro? Talk to me.
I don't know right now. It did bother me. I was kind of like I mean, I said last pod, this dude a bum now. He don't look tough. He don't look like anything. And at least he got some force powers, but he was a little standoffish from using a lightsaber and maybe just feels out of practice or reminds him too much of his Jedi past. You know what I mean? Kind of like I'm here now. Let me just be one with the force and not worry about, being a Jedi and all that type of stuff. But um hey, his force powers did work and looked
Yeah,
pretty cool and they could defeat stormtroopers, but they were just killing me all episode. As soon as they started fighting, I was like, these dudes are the worst. Like, this is crazy.
yeah.
And I wanted Thrawn stormtroopers to at least like do some damage. Look battle tested. No, they're just tired. They can't
hmm
aim. They can't hit nothing. Those are worse than normal stormtroopers.
Dang.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You're talking about Balin's skull
hmm
is not there. Oh,
Yeah.
this is why. Y'all were not winning nothing. There was zero chance. There
Jedi's
was
of
zero.
old. Those Jedi's of
Yeah,
old, bro.
this man
But
was planning on the Jedi's just completely to take Ezra and Sabine. Like
hmm
them stormtroopers did not help at all.
they was really there for a distraction. Like
Like
as
they
far as
had
like
them surrounded.
yeah, they did. And it only took
That's
a couple youngins getting bodied for it to all go bad.
like Ahsoka was able to like jump in the middle of them,
hmm
and they were like, "Oh,
Yeah. Now I will say, like Sabine was definitely going crazy in this one. Like her combos and her just like the moves she was doing in this one gave me like, oh, like she's back to rare form with this joint because the combo with the lightsaber and the blaster, like only a few youngins that's really like that with that, and Ezra being one of them, but also
true."
um just seeing how they choose to fight, like they're definitely out of practice. Like they're out of sync. Um, I think the most blatant like moment of it was when they first met up with Shin, and Shin tried to take Ezra's head off, right? And Sabine was like, "All right, get her," And he just ran. Like he didn't try to use the force immediately. Like he just like, all right, I'm about to tackle her. Like that's the move. And I was just like, bro, like nah, you got all this power. That's not how you use it, bro. And like, why is he the one to go first? He should be in the background, like give him a blast to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like she got a whole lightsaber. I know she ain't beat her yet, but between that and then like the little roly poly youngins throwing pots and pans at the stormtroopers, bro. I was like, yo, this joint's all over the place. But yeah, speaking of Ben and Skull, I do think we got to figure out what's going on with that man, bro.
I know we're
We
running out of
do.
time, bro. We really
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Like, what are your thoughts on him right now?
I hope they don't spend too much time on him last episode, but we're coming down close where they have to wrap up his story. There's a couple of storylines that they need to get done in this final episode. I think they'll be able to stick the landing, but the more I think about it, we may see a little bit sloppy episode, race to the finish to get everyone back to the galaxy. But Balin Skull, I'm thinking he meets whatever thing he's trying to communicate with, and I think it ends on a cliffhanger. Maybe it goes off for him starting something down the line, or just becoming one with the Force, and we'll meet the conclusion in another type of series that we don't really know about yet. Um, I'm just hoping they address it quick.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like I said last time, I do think it's going to be a character from Rebels, the pure Force spirit that helped out Kanan and Ezra. I still feel it. I still feel it.
Like shooting from the stars, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna happen. But between that theory and my Sabine theory, bro, we right in the
Hey,
same
both can
boat, bro.
happen.
Yeah, we
You
right in
know.
the same boat. Um, but yeah, I think seeing how like I still feel like we haven't really seen Balin at his full power yet or full potential, just because up until this point, like he's kind of just been biding his time. Like in every scenario, he hasn't really been trying to necessarily win. He's been just trying to get to whatever he needs to get to. And
Yeah.
I don't think they got enough time to figure that out, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like we're gonna get left on a cliffhanger that's not satisfying, and either he's just gonna hitch a ride back, or he's just gonna get left. Like
Yeah, I'm positive he's getting left.
I
But I
think,
just don't think he's dying or something like that. I think something we're
mhm,
gonna get that cliffhanger you're talking about.
yeah. Um, but to me, like I think what was on like display in this episode was getting a real insight to if you never seen Thrawn in anything, you can really understand what type of character he is. Now, he's not the type of person that is just like, all right, yeah, send everything at them. I want them destroyed. Like, nah, this man's playing chess, bro. And the fact that he understands the situation where it's like, yo, we don't have to necessarily win this battle. We just have to make sure they waste enough time to where they're not going to have enough time to get back here. You know?
What'd you think about him pulling out his forces, knowing he's so close to like being at 100? Like he could have just
Yeah.
left those people there. Like it buys up a few more seconds anyway. I was like, they did some Disney stuff where it's like, okay, I'll
Mm-hmm.
pull back my forces when we're 90% complete.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next episode, by the time it's 100, the heroes are like halfway back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think it's more so because he knew they were fighting a losing battle at that point. Like with Ezra and Ahsoka together, with
Yeah.
Sabine there, it's like, okay, I'd rather, you know, still use my forces to hold them off, but it be closer to home where we can control. Like, cause that was his whole thing. Like he wants them to make their own decisions, but like by doing that, he can always be one step ahead of them by just basically paying attention to what they're doing. So if he pulls everybody back, he can now get ready and set up for when they inevitably like attack because that's the only way anybody's getting home right now. You know,
Yeah. Okay,
it's
that makes
it's
sense.
through the little ring thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But I do think that Morgan Elsbeth is a perfect character right now to be at his side because she is basically us, where it's like the questions we have, she's getting the answer, ask them, and the way he's answering them has me like super excited to see what he can really do when he gets fully unleashed on the rest of the galaxy when he gets back.
I
Because
I just feel like why she questions this dude so much for someone that spent so much time dedicated to finding him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's just like everything he does, she's like questioning, questioning, questioning. It's just like,
but that's
dang, like let him cook. Like stop.
yeah,
Like
but that's I feel like that's to our benefit though, because if she doesn't question him, like he's more of a reactionary character where it's like you have to get him going essentially to for um us to really hear what he's thinking or see the moves see the moves that he's making because we can see like all right like if we don't get that explanation of why he draws his characters back we don't get that moment where he's like time and then
yeah,
I was like bro oh that was perfect Thrawn right there you know
yeah, that makes sense.
because he's not finna fight nobody for real bro like that's not where his strengths lie his strengths lies up here
Mhm.
and that's what you know Rebels really showed me and what they're starting to exhibit these episodes right. So he's not like your typical like it's not like with Palpatine where you're getting the best of both worlds because you know he can get active and you also can see how he's like plotting like on the down low through the Senate and stuff like that. But he is like just the brains. Like he's just like going to set himself up in the best position. Now whatever he got playing next, it's got to be elite though. It's got to be elite because I just want like an epic battle on that starship and
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
it's
Like I
just
said, that's what it's a one episode. I don't know how long it is, but
yeah.
where they're at now, it's not like quite there to have a long epic
Hmm.
encounter. And
Yeah.
also, it's like who, kind of like what you said, Thrawn's not going to be fighting, so it's like who is this encounter going to be with? You know?
Gonna be with that gold youngin, bro. Gold youngin and
Yeah.
the
Well, I have
little
no
baby
faith in them
sis.
now. They showed me that they're still trash, still the worst piece of garbage in Star Wars, and
Dang.
even if you have a gold mask, it's not gonna change nothing. That dude probably can't fight either.
I mean, be able to
Unless they're
fight.
in red, I guess. If they're in red, I guess they're
Hmm.
tougher. You know.
Yeah, but they're still just a trooper. So I guess you're right in that sense. But um, I really think that like between Shin and Balin is going to do something crazy, bro. I don't know what it is. He has to do something crazy to make his sacrifice worth it because I don't. I see a future where Shin could be like the Asajj Ventress of the future, you know, where she's just like in and out, just trying to make stuff difficult, essentially, or be the right hand man to Thrawn in the future because there's no more Inquisitors. But Balin is too old to where it's like when he gets his mind probably set on something like that, that's probably it. But I do agree, like one episode is it's going to have to be something like
I'm definitely thinking Balins gets wrapped up
mm-hmm,
neatly, and is his arc or whatever is just done.
mm-hmm,
At the most, he awakens something that's gonna uh, follow us back. Like. But as for his character, I really don't see him encountering us again at the Star Destroyer or anything.
mm-hmm.
But it's very confusing on what is he doing. you know, that's like a mega question that will be answered.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Um, so what do you think what do you think we're gonna see, bro, in the next episode? Because at this point we're recording this is out.
Yeah, I just think they're gonna start heading back. Say that they're out of time. They need to make it back. They probably just go to that big ring first. They don't even try to meet Thrawn at his Star Destroyer, or they
Mm,
sneak onto the Star Destroyer as it teleports there. And there's some charge up time. There's gonna be something that stops Thrawn and them from leaving immediately.
mhm.
And uh, like you said, there may be an encounter where Sabine dies or something like that on the ship, but I'm just saying they
I
all
should not laugh at that, but
yeah. I'm just pretty sure they all just escape with Thrawn back to the galaxy,
Mhm,
and the threat of Thrawn being back is realized. Something that everyone's gonna have to deal with. But Ezra's back, Thrawn's back, Sabine's gonna start to get trained, and Ahsoka is fine. Nothing wrong with her.
yeah. The only thing that I can really say to that is they have to get their ship on it too, like Ahsoka's ship. Like I feel like it's gonna be more so they're just gonna be taking off, and then they're gonna fly in
Oh, they leave him behind.
and dock in. Nah, they're not gonna leave him behind.
They
But
leave him behind.
leave who behind?
The robot.
No, the robot is flying the ship right now.
Yeah, but how would they? You're saying that they're gonna dock the ship onto the Star Destroyer as it leaves.
Yeah,
Okay. So then
they
I'm
about to get picked
assuming that
up.
yeah, they're gonna meet them up at the ring instead of the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, yep. Because they
'Cause
probably going to
it just
see
seems like the
Ezra and them.
timeline's not matching up. I don't know
True.
how they would make it back to the Star Destroyer as it's really close to departing.
Yeah,
It's
not on foot. No way on foot. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's just gonna be because, like you said, like they're gonna have to go to the ring. So like that is a clear destination. And then once they get to the ring's gonna have to take a little bit of time to charge.
yeah, there's
Um,
some.
so there's like, because right now all they're doing is just getting all their stuff prepared, which I don't know why they not like. What could they have that they need to get prepared for? Like that's not already on the ship. Like I don't that the
Like,
logistics
maybe
of
I
that
gotta
don't
look it
make
up.
sense, but
Thrawn
I
made
don't
it
know.
seem like, oh yeah, it's important loading all the troops or something or supplies, but I'm just kind of like,
I mean, it's important
it,
because once they get back, like they are essentially going to be in the next fight. Like they got to be
yeah,
ready for whatever they pull up into. Obviously, it's not probably going to be immediate, but after that, they just going to be on the run so they can establish themselves a planet and then go from there. So I think the preparation makes sense, but maybe it's because they made base camp on the planet that they have
yeah,
to
I
get
think you're
stuff
right.
from it.
Like I said,
But
it's a big brain play as
yeah,
soon as they enter the galaxy again.
hmm
You know,
but I'm
and
not.
now that they know the contingency of like what happened, how is everything going on that side,
Yeah,
he knows what he'll have to do to set up like a base camp immediately and not get caught up.
hmm yeah, because I don't even think it's more so like what is going to happen with the overarching plot. It's more so for me like what I'm interested in. All right, is is Ezra going to reawaken himself? When is he going to pick that lightsaber up? That's what I want to see. Because like Sabine is just not. It's not going to cut it, bro. I need Ezra back, like full
Yeah, I
force.
definitely think there's just they're planning something else. Like I all that stuff you're saying, like Ezra, Sabine, it just seems like they named it Ahsoka, and then they have a grander vision for this storyline still.
Hmm
Not saying they're coming out with Ezra next, or
Yeah,
Sabine next, but
mm
maybe there is a Rebels uh new season, something, yeah,
I
that
think it'll be a
they're gonna
movie
drop.
because they have mentioned all the characters so far that's still
They have
alive.
because the
So
other one's in
Zeb, he's training
Zeb's
troops.
in what
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Yep, yep. That's Carson's bestie.
Yeah.
Um, so there's definitely plans for the future, but they just gotta do that joint, bro. They really gotta go. Somebody
Yeah.
got to die. Like that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the main thing is Thrawn escapes. It's
hmm
gonna be. It
Yeah.
seems like
That
that's
that
because
that, that writing's on
imagine
the
if they
wall.
don't. Imagine if he doesn't. I'd be like,
Yeah.
bro, they defeated Thrawn.
Yeah. I'll be pissed.
I'll be like, yo, these stormtroopers cost this man everything.
Bro, I'm saying, bro, like all we really need for him to do is for him to get back. Don't really matter the condition of the ship. We just need him to have a chance. Because like Hera said, like we need to hope
They
for
need
the
some type of threat.
they need to
You know?
hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
Because the worst is coming. And it's
Yeah.
like his name is Thrawn. Like that's the type of vibe
It
I
just
need,
gives
bro.
some type of flavor of, what is so big and bad that they're gonna be doing from,
Mhm.
here all the way to the future. Because clearly we know it's not peaceful,
Yeah, for sure. And even in what was that? Mandalorian, when I gotta look back at that scene, when Moff Gideon was talking to all the other Imperial people. Like, was that man's there? Was Xeono
Oh,
there?
that's good. Yeah,
I
that's a
gotta
good
I
eye.
gotta I gotta check that because they was all sizing him up like while he was still going,
Yeah.
you know, and I completely forgot that the, Ahsoka was the one that first initially captured Morgan Elsbeth and what you call like I forgot that's where
Man,
we saw
Mando.
her. Yeah, Mando. Yeah, I completely forgot about that, bro. I thought about it recently, but yeah, we need to see what's coming because we already know what is, but I just want to know how it got to that point.
And I'm hoping they have something that they're gonna do with those three witches, the
Oh yeah, the
Dathomiri.
mothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping there's some little thing that goes on. Like I said,
Hmm.
there's so much story that they can go with. I just don't think they have enough time, so they're gonna quickly wrap up a few and then, probably like you said, the big battle onto the ring is
Yeah.
gonna be majority of the episode.
Yeah. Because they got that Dragon Ball Scouter on lock, so they've been doing their job, so they should definitely get a trip back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
even when they come back, you need some time in an episode to like have a
hmm,
reunion, have Hera pick them up,
yep,
Sabine and Ezra get it on and start their love scene.
that's never gonna happen, bro. That's never
Hey,
gonna
I
happen.
don't know. The way she was looking at him, I was like, hold up.
Nah, because I'm waiting for just putting this out there. The writing's on the wall for this. I'm waiting for Ezra to meet Jason, bro,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is a real legacy right there, bro. You
And that's a
know?
perfect way to end it. I think like
Yeah.
their encounter,
Mm-hmm.
I think that seems about right.
Yep. Like, yo, I'm your big bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be so fire, bro. Um, and yeah, I gotta watch it now. Like, that's all it is to it. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Um,
excited for a finale.
yeah, for sure. Like, it'd be good. Where are you leaning right now as far as a score? I know we gotta wait till the last one. But where are you leaning before?
Yeah, it's heavy on this last episode. It can go
Mm-hmm.
either way. I think it's solid. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not too happy that it's not really Ahsoka. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's my only gripe. And then even when we met Thrawn, it's kind of like he took over the episode, and then Sabine took over the episode.
That's
And
it.
and I think there was something you said in the last pod when I rewatched it, like that reveal for Ezra. I don't, it just
Weak,
didn't
bruh.
feel right. It didn't feel like it was strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
And at least Thrawn's was cooler, but he was just old.
Yeah.
But it felt more grand, like, oh, he had all his people ready, lined up. And for Ezra just to be like, hey, come out this little shell, I was like, I don't know. So hopefully this last episode has a lot. Ezra looking cooler. If there's a sacrifice, this thing would go up way more. But it just doesn't really seem as Ahsoka-y as I wanted it, and it feels more um mid like Rebels preseason thing.
You stole the word right out of my mouth, bruh. It's borderline mid right now. borderline mid.
Yeah,
Like
there. See, but that Star Wars episode with Hayden
Anakin,
Christensen is great.
elite.
It's really good. So, like I said, it's tough. If this ending lands, it'll be fine with at an 8.
Yeah, that's
Very good.
I'm leaning towards that. It's like it's either gonna right now it's like at a 7.5, and most of that is because of Anakin, right? But they
Yeah, I
go
think the last couple
crazy
episodes
in
are
this
pretty good.
junk. Yeah, like since that point, I was like, okay, yeah, like I like this show. But before that, I was
Yeah,
like,
there's some
oh,
duds.
it's not looking too good.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
yeah, okay, so we on the same page for that. Uh, yeah, man, that's all I got for this joint, bro. Um, what you geeked about?
Oh man, I just started watching Gen V,
Ooh,
the
I
boys
recall
like
it Gen
spinoff.
V.
I don't know what it is, what you
Like I
call it.
thought it was just like Gen 5. Like I thought it was like the 5 was the. But I
Oh, because
guess
the drugs is Gen
RV
V,
too.
and the
Yeah,
have you
both
seen
of them V.
episodes?
Nah, I'm gonna start
Oh,
it
I
this
was gonna
weekend.
spoil
He was about
stuff.
to go
Dang,
crazy.
I was, but I just started it. It's pretty good. It's so weird because like that universe is just so wild, and
Mhm.
this spinoff just shows that you know, as long as they keep that flavor, you can really go anywhere with that universe.
Mhm.
And it doesn't always have to rely on Homelander being the most
Focus.
wild Superman ever. Like
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm really excited for it. I thought the first episode was pretty good. I'm gonna keep watching it. I think only 3 episodes are out. Maybe a fourth one just dropped, but uh, really good first episode. Really fresh, and it doesn't feel exactly like The Boys, but it's still in that same realm that if you like The Boys, you'll definitely like this series, like
Yeah.
hands down. So, geeked about that, and then this weekend is The Exorcist, something something, but no one cares. The new Exorcist. Two little girls getting possessed, the most horrifying
Spooky, bro.
thing in cinema, in my opinion. I always hate when the little girls act
Mm.
creepy. It's always freaky to me. And I hope it's really good. I hope it goes ridiculous. I want to see it at night, but that's a little bit more
Oh
extra
my
change.
gosh.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you really
hopefully
trying to be
it's
scared.
hopefully it's very good. It's one of the most anticipated movies for quite a while. Um I'm really looking forward to it. Will I watch an Exorcist recap? It's such an old movie, such a classic. I probably won't because I've seen it quite enough in my
Okay.
lifetime.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm hyped about those two things. But geeked about both of them, and I don't think I'm gonna mention Saw because I don't know. I didn't get to see it. There's so many movies I gotta go see like this week.
Yeah.
So, what you geeked about, G?
I'm geeked about the creator. The creator. I saw that over the
Uh,
weekend, and yeah,
uh,
that joint did a number on me, bruh. I almost cried like so many times, bro.
Whoa,
It was
really?
good. It was good, but it's like
Oh man, I'm
it
slacking.
just make you feel so weird, bruh. Like because it's like war, you know, and I don't want to get too much into it. But I really liked it. John David Washington has not failed me yet. Um,
Okay,
and
so it's
you know,
surprisingly good.
yeah, like I don't only heard good things about it. Before I went to see it, like I haven't heard any takes on it, but I just everybody that I've talked to about it said they liked it. But I just was not expecting to get like the reaction that I had like from myself.
Oh
Like
dang! I really wish I saw it now.
it was like I don't know how you feel about it. Um, but it was just like a natural thing that happened through the movie that isn't really there in the trailer. Like
Okay.
I was not like from watching the trailer, like it was
Yeah, I've
like
seen only a few, like a trailer one time probably.
mhm. it was just like, oh, war movie, AI robots. There's this child thing that's supposed to be this weapon. Like, okay, I'm just here to see stuff go crazy. Like, nah, like it's all going. This joint is crazy, bro.
I definitely
So
gotta see it now. Then
it's good. It's good. And then also, I'm surprised you didn't bring this one up, but you know, them Buckeyes going up against Maryland. Somebody not gonna be undefeated after this week. I'm excited to see that for sure.
yeah, all I know is I'll be watching heavily, but I've seen this show a bajillion times. No matter how good my turtles are,
It's not looking
they
good.
are not. Yeah, it's not gonna be good. Every time they go into that stadium undefeated or high record or high flying offense,
Yeah,
they get beat down to reality. It's crazy. College football is just so wild sometimes.
yeah.
So I'm gonna be watching though. Hey, you know, don't get blown out by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
I think they'll get blown out by 2 touchdowns.
We'll report back. We'll report back next week.
Yeah.
And then the last
points.
thing,
they'll lose by 17. How about that?
all right, as long as they lose.
Yeah. If they win,
nah, no way.
I'll
no
be
way.
gone.
No
I'll
way.
be in a new galaxy.
But the other thing that I'm geeked about is Stranger Things, bro. I watched the first episode today, and I am locked. Bro. I did not think I was gonna like it as much as I liked it so far. I mean, literally nothing happened, but I know things about the show, but as far as like anything that I've watched, like this is the thing I know least about, if that makes sense. Like obviously, like
Great
people,
Halloween type series.
yeah, like people love Stranger Things,
They
and
do.
I want to see what all the hype is about, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I was not locked until I seen Cuz get his head blown off frame one. Not frame one, but like I was just not expecting. I was like, oh, this is serious. Like, and then the only critique I have, I know it was 1980s, bro. Calling my man's what's his name? McLaughlin, what's his name? Freaking dang, I cannot think of his name right now. But the black kid.
The kid?
Yeah, the black kid.
Oh, okay.
I cannot think of his name, but they call that man Midnight, bro. And I ain't like that. I ain't like that, bro. You gotta square off on that, man. Like, I know I ain't seen no other black people in that joint yet, but like, you just can't go like that, bro. I know that joint killed me. And then I didn't know it was like Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I did not know that, and I love Critical Role, so it's like I was like, oh yeah, I'm watching this joint for sure. But yeah, that joint is going crazy. And this is the last time y'all probably gonna hear me talk about that because I'm not getting spoiled, bro. I'm locking in, and I'm not gonna say I'm gonna binge it, but that's what I'm watching. You know, because Loki's will come out eventually, and we'll talk about that. But
it's like 2 days.
I know, so there's a lot.
I'm geeked about that too. Yeah,
there's a lot going on right now, so I wanted to get that one out of the way, and yeah, just let y'all know that's what I'm doing spooky season. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping my word. But that's gonna do it for us, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in once again. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you YouTube. If you listen on your favorite audio platforms, leave a 5-star rating, leave a comment. We'll holler at y'all in the next one. And y'all be easy. If you want to catch this joint live, check out the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/why I'm geeked. You'll be able to find it 24 hours early. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week, man. Stay geeked. Peace.
There you go.